come into the property through a big courtyard, and then there's quite an unconventional approach actually at the front of the house. What's going on there?
The front was really driven by the homeowners. She wanted a forecourt, a loggia piece, a really gracious entry piece where they could actually sit out front.
And that leads you on into the entranceway of the house, and then you arrive at what I think is probably one of the most dramatic living spaces I've ever seen, that grand salon. How does that evolve, and what are its prominent features?
Well, they looked for that as kind of a living, dining, formal space that the whole house is going to be organized around, and we left one side of that courtyard open to connect into the backyard and have the dramatic height in the back and have a dramatic wall of glass. But it was really important to have enough house around that to make that worthwhile and to make that authentic and significant space that just wasn't all about that for the home. And so all the other spaces had to be connected in an appropriate way in the right proportion to make all of that work. And then the big key was this large skylight that had to work and create the sense of really kind of almost an outdoor space.
It's got a feel almost of the old European railway stations, that vault.
Yeah, in fact, that was one of the inspirations. See, they actually showed us a couple of the old Victorian cast iron skylit kind of railroad stations of Europe, and that's actually where the takeoff for the skylight ribs are. Those ribs that went across were originally going to be decorative, but in the end they became structural, custom design.
And then there's the room that seems to be suspended high up in the salon ceiling.
Again, this came from the owner. She had not a similar space, but she had a suspended daybed in a small room, very classy room at one time. And she liked the idea, and she had seen images of almost kind of suspended rooms, and she really pursued that idea, and we really had a tough time working into the architecture. So in the end, we really had to actually kind of move the architecture out of the way. We had to push the columns away at a wider spacing, barrel vault that grand salon ceiling, barrel vault the entablature above that piece to allow that suspended room to be there. And that is really a wonderful kind of catbird seat, if you will, in the middle of the space, because it can look down over the grand salon, over the two-story family room space, and it has just a terrific floating feel once you're in there.